Okay, class, we made it to the last week of school and the review for our very last test of the school year. So number one, Jorge's average score on the first three tests was 88. So I said I knew that he had three tests. The average is the answer to a division problem. So that's 88. I did 88 times 3 and I got 264. So his total points on those three tests must have been 264. His average score on the next 5 was 84. Same thing again. Took 5 tests. The average score was 84. That means he must have made 84 times 5 makes 420 total points on those 5 tests. What was his average score on all 8? So I need to add the total points for the last 5 and the first 3. That gave me 684 points. Divide by 8 total tests. His average for all 8, 85.5. Okay, original change new chart. After working 6 months, Gina received a raise of 25%. That one piece of information allowed me to fill in my whole original change new chart. Originally, her original pay was 100%. It increased by 25%, so now her pay is 125% of her original pay. Originally, she was making $7.20. We want to find out what she is making now, so I can get rid of this row. 100 over 125 is equal to 720 over the new rate. I do my cross multiplying. Her new rate of pay, $9. 70 is what percent of 50? 70 is what percent of 50? I want to get what percent by itself, so I divide by 50 on both sides. I just reduced here, okay? Then I said 7 divided by 5. I got 1.4, but the question asked for the percent. So I multiply by 100% to get to percent. 70 is 140% of 50. We had to use 3 unit multipliers on this box to get from meters cubed to centimeters cubed. Okay, so I started out with 2 meters cubed. 1 meter is 100 centimeters. That helps me get rid of one of these meters. But I got to do it 3 more times because I have meters times meters times meters. So I did it 3 times. So this gets rid of all these. So 100 times 100 times 100 is 1,000,000. Times 2 is 2,000,000 centimeters cubed. Number 5, diagram the statement. 5 eggs were cracked, and those 5 were 1/6 of the total. So I made a diagram in 6 sections. It says that 5 was 1/6. So one of those sections represent 5, which is kind of nice because it already tells me what number goes in each section. Okay. How many eggs were in the flat? If 5 is 1/6, 5 times 6 is 30 eggs. What percent of the eggs were not cracked? So this is the ones that were cracked. So the not cracked has to be the 5/6. 5/6 times 100%. 500% over 6 is 500% divided by 6. 83 1/3%. Well, the next one we had to replace the letters with their values. So A was a -6 plus B is -4. -6 plus a -4, they're both negative. So same sign, add and keep, I get -10. C was a -2. Negative divided by negative is +5. The perimeter of a square is 12 inches. It's a square, so if I know the perimeter, I can divide by 4 to find out how long each side is. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Each side must be 3. Area, side times side, 9 inches squared. The face of the spinner is divided into sixths. We want to know the probability that if you spin it twice, both times the arrow will stop on a vowel. So we've got 2 events. So it's the probability of the first times the probability of the second. There are 2 vowels out of 6 letters, 2 out of 6. I just reduced it to 1/3 times 1/3 gave me 1/9. Okay, next we have a triangular prism now. Triangular prism, we want to know the volume. Okay, so our formula for volume is capital B, area of the base times the height. So we have to think about what shape is our base, and it's this triangle. It's called a triangular prism. It's telling us the shape of the base. So it's a triangle all the way through. So to find area of a triangle, I do base times height divided by 2. That gives me 12 centimeters squared for capital B. So now I have to multiply the area of the base times the height. That means how far does the figure go back, and it goes back 6 centimeters. 12 centimeters squared times 6 centimeters is 72 centimeters cubed. Area of a circle. Our formula for area is pi r squared. Now it tells me r is 10, square 10, and I get 100. 100 times 3.14 is 314 centimeters squared. We want the total cost of 20 square yards of carpeting if it's $18 per square yard. So first of all, I have to figure out the price of just the carpet. $18 a square yard, and I'm getting 20 yards. 18 times 20 is $360. Okay, but I also have to include the tax. So 6% is 0.06 times 360. That gives me $21.60 in tax. Add that to my 360, which is the price of the carpet. Total $381.60. What is 33 1/3 of 33 1/3% of $42? Okay, so what I did first was I made 33 1/3 into an improper fraction. 100 over 3. Now I want to get rid of the percent. That means I have to divide by 100. Okay, so I'm going to end up with one of these complex fractions. I'm going to have fraction divided by fraction. Means fraction times reciprocal. So 33 1/3% is the same as 1/3. 1/3 times $42 is $14 for my answer. At 2 p.m., the hands of the clock formed an angle that measures how many degrees. Well, there's a couple of ways you could have done this. You might have remembered that there's 360 degrees in the clock. Divide by 60 minutes. That means 6 degrees per minute. And if it's pointing to the 2, that means we've gone 10 marks on the clock. 6 degrees times 10 is 60 degrees. Or you might have said, I've gone to 2 out of 12 numbers times 360 degrees in the whole thing. 2 out of 12 reduces to 1/6 times 360. Still, you would get 60 degrees. Number 14, scientific notation. 4 times 8 is 32. 10 to the third times 10 to the negative 8. I add my exponents. 3 and a negative 8 make negative 5. 32 is not proper. So I need to change 32 into 3.2 times 10 to the 1. Then I bring times 10 to the negative 5. Positive 1 and negative 5 make negative 4. 3.2 times 10 to the negative 4. 0.6m plus 1.5 is equal to 4.8. Okay, so what's the term containing the variable? 0.6m. What's happening to 0.6m? It's being added by 1.5. Undo that. Subtract 1.5 on both sides. So I get 0.6m is equal to 3.3. Now what's happening to m? It's being multiplied by 0.6. How do I undo that? Divide by 0.6 on both sides. 3.3 divided by 0.6, I've got to move my decimal. So I end up with 33 divided by 6. And the final answer is 5.5. 2/3 x minus 6 is equal to 18. What's happening to the term with the variable? It's being subtracted by 6. Undo that. Add 6 on both sides. So I get 2/3 x is equal to 24. Now what's happening to x? It's being multiplied by 2/3. How do I undo that? Divide by 2/3, which means multiply by the reciprocal on both sides. This all cancels out. I'm left with x. This becomes 2 becomes 1, 24 becomes 12, 12 times 3. X is 36. Order of operations here. 3 cubed is 27, minus square root of 49 is 7, plus 5 times 2 to the 4th is 16. Okay, so now I look from left to right. The next thing I need to do is this multiplication. 5 times 16 is 80. 27 minus 7 plus 80. Now I need to add and subtract from left to right. 27 minus 7 is 20, plus 80. Final answer, 100. 3 yards, 2 feet, 9 inches, plus 8 inches. So I just added my 8 inches here. I got 3 yards, 2 feet, 17 inches. It's too many inches, so I took 12 of those inches and turned them into a foot. So now I have 3 yards, 3 feet, 5 inches, but now I have too many feet. 3 of these feet can be turned into yards. So now I have final answer, 4 yards and 5 inches. So this is a distribution problem and a collect like terms problem. 2x plus 3 times x is 3x. Positive 3 times positive 2 is positive x. 2x and 3x are like. They combine to make 5x plus 6 is my final answer. Last one. Okay. So I see here I have multiplication, multiplication, subtraction, division. Okay, so I need to complete these multiplications on top. Negative 5 times negative 4 makes positive 20. Negative 2 times negative 1 makes positive 2. So now I have 20 minus 3 times positive 2. Divide by negative 2. So I'd change that to 20 minus 6 over negative 2. 20 minus 6 is 14. Divide by negative 2 gives me negative 7. Make sure to contact me if you have any questions. Please join if there's a Zoom meeting today, if you have any questions, go ahead and join that. Get your questions answered. As I said, last test of the quarter is tomorrow. Last test of the quarter, last test of the whole year. Okay? Let me know if you have any struggles. Bye, guys.